This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring. For the date of
February 12th, 2010.
All right, before we get going, I just want to let everybody know we did have some connection problems with Skype when we were doing this interview, so there might be some lag in some parts and whatnot, so just be patient. You'll get the idea by listening to the audio too, so here we go. All right, so today we have the rocket scientists, DJ Solars and DJ Guzzi. Solars, Guzzi. Thank you for coming on Remix Report and talking with us today.
Word. Thank you guys for having us.
For sure. So tell us a little bit, just kind of what you guys are up to right now. What are you guys working on?
Working on the Blast Off 3 new CD for us. We've worked on 2 other Blast Off CDs. They've been really good to help us get our name out and just to promote our style. And we're having a lot of fun making it.
And your CDs aren't like everyone else's, right? Your CDs are strictly your mixes on your CDs?
I would say about 90% our remixes. I mean, we try and stick to the stuff we've made on our own, with the occasional JD remix. Or
what JD remix have we used on the CD?
So, yeah, most of it is our own. That's
cool. So how often are you releasing those CDs? Is that like a once a year kind of thing?
Well, I think that's what we'd like it to be.
Yeah.
Over the past, I mean, Guzzi and I have been working together for about 5 or 6 years now, and this will be our 3rd CD. Well, actually, you know what? That's not true.
That's not true.
We used to put out mixtapes. I think we put out 2 or 3 mixtapes in like 2003, 2004 time.
They've been 2 years apart for 8 years now, I think.
Yeah, but it's been about a year since we put out Blast Off 2, and it'd probably be a good idea to keep them coming at least once a year.
Cool. So can you tell everybody kind of just quickly how you guys met up and started working together?
Let me interrupt you real quick. Just for the people who don't ever get to catch you guys at the club, where's the best spot that they can find these CDs?
Good question.
Is that the only way you have to catch
I think the Blast Off 2 is available on our, dare I say it, MySpace. And we've also got newer CDs that we're going to post on the Mood Swing website, which is www.moodswing360.com, which is our management. So
cool.
But now that you mention it, by the end of today, we'll have a link up on our website. So the black
embarrassing can inspire some change.
Yeah. So people can find that at therocketscientist.com.
We got the remix game down, the marketing thing. Whole nother.
We'll be having tutorials very soon.
And is that website, is that Rocket Scientists with an S at the end, or just Rocket Scientist?
Yeah,
with an S.
With an S. Cool. Just so everybody knows. All right. So like we were saying, can you tell us quickly how you guys met and started working together?
Our ex-girlfriends were roommates, and they've since gone and done other stuff, and we actually didn't. I'd say we probably didn't get along at first because we saw each other's competition. The other DJ, you know, like kind of like I don't know. I was about to make fun. I don't like each other, kind of like. You know, that kind of a deal, like, but, you know, since then, you know, I respected what he did as a DJ, and we're both in the same town, so we decided to work on one CD, and it's been magic. It's been magic, yeah.
Group hug.
Yeah. So that's how it came about.
Cool. So you guys obviously play your own sets apart from each other. So how is it when you guys are doing a 2x4 set, when you're both playing, either you have 2 setups or you're going back and forth on one setup? How does that kind of dynamic work? Do you guys practice things, or do you just kind of go for it? Like, how does that whole scenario play out usually?
Well, there have been times when we've practiced sets. It's unfortunately, it's pretty rare that we get to play on 4 turntables. There's a few select clubs that have a DJ booth big enough, or but I think over the years we've kind of grown to know each other's styles pretty well, and certain things that, you know, DJs do in their sets time and time again, even if it's not the exact same songs in the same order. I mean, we know each other's sound pretty well, and we kind of play off each other that way.
Cool. What have you guys kind of learned from each other? Each of you learned from the other one, playing with each other in that way.
Good question. Damn. Good questions.
Hard-hitting questions right here at Remix Report.
Like, I wrote them all down last night. I'd say what I learned is that, you know, there's certain, you know, songs or a certain way that Aton plays something that, you know, I didn't think of, or that I necessarily don't. But, you know, watching another DJ as close as, you know, he would be to me, like, I get to learn something on a different level. And obviously anything he plays that I don't have, I'm just like, give me that.
And vice versa, I'm sure.
I mean, I think, you know, we're all DJs, and I think as DJs, we rarely get to go out and hear other DJs, and certainly I feel like the times I do get to do that, you know, they don't even have to be a great DJ. I'm listening to them, I get inspired, or I hear something, or I you know, and we get to do that. We're lucky enough to be able to get to do that on a pretty regular basis with each other, you know. Even if we don't have 4 turntables, you know, if we're doing a set together, if we're tag teaming or something like that, you know, he definitely opens my eyes to a lot of different kinds of music, and definitely I think Guzzi takes some pretty big risks sometimes, which is inspiring, you know. I think a lot of DJs stick to a very basic format, and need to think outside the box a little bit from time to time.
You know, I would definitely agree with that. I was actually going to mention that, kind of, because sometimes you'll play some like really obscure shit, like that I wouldn't think about playing, like maybe some old school like Motown song that a lot of people don't play, something that's just different, and usually the crowd just eats it up, which is great. I mean, you're definitely. I mean, how do you go about taking that risk or judging whether you should take that risk or not, or do you just not think about it and just say, "Hey, fuck it, I'm gonna do it"?
You broke up a little bit, but I basically got. How do you know? How do you know, like, when to risk or risk, basically?
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, it's like I'll go home and work on an edit of, you know, some song that I think would be fun to play at a club, and then I'll play it, and then I'll just see what happens. So sometimes it doesn't go over the way I wanted it to, and I might give it a few other opportunities, and if it keeps kind of doing the same thing, I might go back to the drawing board and go, I really don't know what people enjoy in the nightclub. I'm going to stick to playing Flo Rida and all that stuff that gets people going. So
well, I think that's good for young DJs to hear, DJs in general, because I think a lot of people are kind of afraid to do that a lot of times, just for, especially if there's other DJs around. They don't want to take that risk in front of someone else and fall on their face sometimes, which we all do on occasion. So I mean, it's good. I think it's good to definitely put yourself out there every now and then and do that, because you really do got to push your limits and test yourself, and I think you guys definitely do that.
You're in the lab with the rocket scientists.
Rocket scientists. Boom, 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 boom. Remixreport.com.